you carry on. So, this book..." He extracted multiple pages of notes from his brown leather messenger bag and placed them to his right on the table. "Nice bag," I said. "Gavin gave it to me," he said, unable to resist smiling at the mention of his partner. "It's an anniversary present." I smiled. 4 years? That's flown. And what did you get him? "I'm taking him to Paris for New Year," he said, now sounding a little strained. I knew he was torn between wanting to tell me about the planned trip and the pressing need to get down to business. "Paris!" I gasped and clapped my hands. "Oh, Neil, he'll love that. How romantic." "Yes, it will be," he said, before adding dryly, "rather more so than your book." I cursed myself for so carelessly giving him a route into literary discussion. I poured my tea and added a splash of milk. "You're sure you don't want me to pour yours?" I looked up at him. It's quite strong. His pale brown eyes narrowed. "You're very talented, Grace." I put down the teapot and sighed, realising that further attempts at procrastination and distraction would be pointless. "You are," he insisted, running a thoughtful finger round the rim of his empty cup. "You have talent, you have a number of books behind you, and, if you wanted, a long career ahead of you. But..." He peered at me again over the top of his glasses, now appearing fatherly, despite, at 35, being 2 years my junior. "This draft isn't quite there yet." "That's no surprise. The first draft never is." He pursed his lips, as if to stifle a hasty response. "Yes, but this draft," he said slowly, "is further away from where it needs to be than usual." "Really?" I maintained a neutral expression. "How far away?" He removed his glasses, placed them carefully on the table, and leaned back in his chair. "Well, to use an analogy, let's say that the book needs to be in Edinburgh." "Okay." "Well, at the moment, I'd say it's in... Glasgow? Zimbabwe." "Oh." He smiled sadly. "You know I can't take this to publishers." I nodded. "Of course. I always expect you to suggest changes." "You're dodging the issue, and that's not helpful," he said, his tone a mixture of patience and candour. I opened my mouth with the intention of issuing a denial, but thought better of it. Neil had been my literary agent and good friend through 6 years, 4 moderately successful novels, and 1 very painful marital breakdown. He'd been brutally honest, gently coaxing, stern, and supportive as required, and it was thanks to him that I was able to maintain a comfortable lifestyle as an author, working from a 2-bedroom period flat in northwest Bristol, rather than managing commercial property from a soulless open-plan office in Swindon, as I had been when he'd first agreed to represent me. He was right. Dodging the issue wasn't helpful, and he didn't deserve it. "I just wanted to try something different," I said, "to reveal a little more of me." "This is too different. You've revealed too much of you. Put your knickers back on." There was no hint of a smile now, sad or otherwise. He picked up the teapot and poured himself a cup. "It's not completely different," I ventured. "It's not like I'm writing sci-fi." He replaced his glasses and reached for his notes. "Do you know the most frequently repeated word in this little lot?" he asked, not looking at me, but instead leafing through the bundle, which I could see was a mixture of typed and wildly scrawled comments. "The?" I suggested. "Cynical," he said, refusing to acknowledge the quip. "Cynical is the most frequently repeated word in my notes, along with cynic and cynicism. Your latest novel is a bitter little pill, and the worst of it is that the first 70% gives no hint of the sting in the tail." "That's life for you," I interjected brightly. "Loyal readers of Elizabeth Canning novels, your readers, your novels," he continued without pause, "will be sitting in bed, gulping red wine and munching their way through Ferrero Rocher." Who's being cynical now? "Being happily reeled in by the handsome millionaire and the feisty, perfectly formed heroine," and loving it, "only to discover," he slammed a hand down heavily on top of his notes, making me jump slightly, "that the hero of the piece is sleeping with quite a few other women, including our heroine's best friend." "Ah, but," I protested, holding up a finger, "that all started before he met our heroine." "But he carries on sleeping with the best friend for quite a while, doesn't he?"